So overnight, Russia launching drone strikes on Ukraine after battering the country with drone and missile attacks over the weekend. It comes as President Zelensky meets with European leaders today in London for talks on ending the war, while our own president's eldest son suggests his father is not ruling out ending negotiations altogether.
That President Trump is going to walk away?
I think he may. What's good about my father and what's unique about my father is you don't know what he's going to do. The fact that he's not predictable, he's not following the playbook of every clown who's, again, been a bureaucrat for decades, you don't know.
So Alex Gray served as chief of staff to the National Security Council during President Trump's first term, and joins us now to react. Alex, your thoughts? It seems to me that we're on two different tracks. The Europeans are meeting with Zelensky. At the same time, there's a delegation who had a long and substantive conversation, according to an ex-post, over the weekend with Witkoff and company. So are we on two different paths?
Well, I hope we're not, Brian, and I hope the Europeans have the sense to realize that if you try and play President Trump off of European partners or anyone else, that's not going to end very well for them or for Ukraine. But I think Don Jr. is 100% right. I think that the president, he's got a huge heart for people suffering in war zones. That's why he's tried to end over 8 conflicts in less than a year. But I think the reality, Brian, is in the environment we're in, the president is prioritizing, as his national security strategy said last week, he's prioritizing our hemisphere, he's prioritizing Asia, and we don't have the bandwidth to indefinitely engage in these types of protracted negotiations. That's just the reality. But
in reality, I would love for the president to put pressure on Putin to say, hey, Tomahawks will be delivered in the next 6 weeks. More Patriots are going to come into fray in the next 6 weeks if I don't see substantial progress. So let them know things aren't going to get better, because this has not been a shining moment in Russian military history. It's been an epic fail in the big picture.
Well, that's 100% right. Russia's shown itself in many ways to be a paper tiger. And in many ways, Brian, over the last 4 years, Russia has shown just why it's probably should not be the locus of America's strategic effort, because it's a power in decline. And I agree with you that President Trump has shown a tremendous amount of foresight. And this is why we kept Russia in its box his entire first term, because we applied peace through strength. We deterred Russia. Right. And when the president's able to bring, whether it's Tomahawks or other long-range weapons into play, you're going to see Putin, I think, backing down very quickly.
I hope so, because if we walk away from Ukraine, that would show weakness. But talk about strength. Hamas officials say a group is ready. Get this. Hamas, this is according to leadership among Hamas, they're willing to discuss freezing or storing their weapons as Christmas celebrations return to Bethlehem for the first time in years since the Gaza war actually began. So Hamas, I think, is realizing they're almost out of options. Are we to believe these statements?
Well, anything Hamas says, Brian, we both know you have to take with a huge grain of salt. But I think it's extraordinary that in just a couple of months, we're talking about holding Christmas celebrations in Bethlehem. And it's a pretty incredible testament to American leadership that we're in a position where this is actually on the table right now. And that Hamas, we're talking about Hamas even gesturing in the direction of peace rather than perpetuating this endless cycle of war and violence that they had been up until the United States under President Trump got involved in these negotiations. So, look, ultimately, Hamas is a terrorist organization. We know that their word's not worth much, but I think we are in a much better position than we have been for a long time.
Hey, Alex, it's phase 2, and this is phase 2. They have to shelve their arms and stand down or get out. And the other part is getting that international force in, and we'll see. We have Ambassador Michael Waltz going to the region today, and I think that he could start shaping that international force. Alex, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.